Hey everyone, not too long ago I took $1,000, flew to Tampa, Florida. I'd never been there before. The goal was to turn it into $93,000 or really $40,000 in 40 days. I turned it into $93,000 in that time frame, right? And I did this using driving for dollars. One of the things that I did on that challenge, one of the little strategies that I used, I haven't really talked about it before. And on this video, I'm gonna share exactly what I did and how I did it, and I'm gonna show you exactly how you guys can do it so you can take advantage and use some of the best strategic strategies that I use when it comes to driving for dollars. So let's dive in. Before we do so, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that bell notification if you've not done so before, so you do not miss out on a single video. It's going to put tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in your driving for dollars business. Hey everyone, my name is Zack Boothe. If you've not been to this channel before, I really am no one special. I did come across something very special though that completely changed my life, right? I learned about something called driving for dollars, and it took me from being a broke window cleaner to having a ton of success. And about 3 years ago, I started serving and helping people and teaching this system because I had read if you want to receive, you have to give. And I wanted to make $1 million in a year, so I had to teach people how to make $1 million, put $1 million in their pocket, according to the self-help journal I was doing. And because of that, this channel has been born, me helping and instructing and teaching others, right? If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. And I have kind of a weird personal question. My videographer said he didn't like my shirt because it wasn't professional. I want to know from you guys in the comments what you think of my shirt. Okay, we'll go to the next one. So I told you guys I started doing driving for dollars and it changed my life, right? So what happened is I was trying to find deeply discounted properties. I wanted to be able to find these really discounted properties so I could pass them on for a finder's fee known as wholesaling, and I wanted to get some more rentals as well. And so I had heard about a strategy called driving for dollars. This is before it was all over YouTube, before they even had technology and apps to speed up the process. So I started driving around and finding these ugly houses, writing down the addresses on a legal notepad, looking them up on the county recorder's website, on who owned them and everything else. It took me over 15 hours to add about 70 properties to that very first list. And I remember that number because I went through and sent some postcards and called those people. I looked up on People Search and some, the yellow pages online, and I found a few people, and I found someone that wanted to sell a property. And I sold one of the properties for $14,000 profit. And, there was just a couple properties. I was blown away because how I was finding my properties before was pulling code violations and tax delinquent properties and reaching out to them. And from there it evolved, right? I made so much money for such little bit of marketing dollars that I wanted to do this better and better. And with time, apps and technology came out. And the funny thing is I had a $40,000 deposit with an app developer to develop a driving for dollars app to speed up the process. But then all these apps came out. I didn't want to own an app. I just wanted to do driving for dollars. And I found that with Deal Machine, I could add more properties faster than writing them down, right? I could drive through the neighborhoods, have a Google Maps image, and touch the property on my map, and it would upload all the information. So I went from having to see the house, write it down, and look it up to just see the house and touch my phone, and I had everything I needed, including phone numbers. There was no extra search. So what took me 15 hours, I was now doing in 1 hour, right? And so that sped up the process, and I was only looking for the worst of the worst properties for so long. Then I started going, I wonder, and this was actually a question from someone that I was helping, why don't we tag properties that aren't the worst of the worst? Why don't we tag properties that have any physical signs of neglect? So I split my marketing up and split tested, and I did the worst of the worst properties, and I did the best of the worst properties, right, in the neighborhoods. And I found that you can make a lot of money with both of these, but the least amount of marketing dollars per deal is going to come from the worst of the worst properties. So there is a way that you can separate out those properties and spend more of your effort and your upfront effort on the worst of the worst properties. And in this video, I'm going to share how you do that, why you do that, and what that did for me on the 40-day challenge. All right, we're going to go out and go for a drive, but before we do that, make sure you smash that like button for this content and this value that I'm adding to you. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go for a drive. Okay, so the big thing here, I'm going to show you guys how to tag these properties, right? So get in your car, go out, find a property that's really bad, right? I'm not going to go spend 10 minutes to go find an ugly house to show on the screen. But let's say you're driving, right, here at my office. So this top right button, that's going to put you where you want to be. You want to make sure your settings are proper. So top left corner is a little little map thing. You click on that, and then the map mode, the bottom one there, you click on map mode, and you want to make sure it's on tap to add. These two like crosshairs is where you like take a picture. Pin mode takes longer to add. Tap to add's the fastest. All you got to do is touch the property, and now it's going to add it to your Excel spreadsheet. You can go to standard or satellite. Let's keep it on standard for now. When you start your drive, you're going to hit start drive and end drive, and it'll route track, or it'll highlight the streets. As you can see, these green lines here. Okay. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess with this, because this is the app we're actively using right now. So let's say this property right here on North Hillfield Road, the 1481 here. So we're going to click on 1481. What that's going to do is that just now added it to my marketing list. Now I'm going to click on it again, and I'm going to hit the over button. I'm going to click on the address, and then I am going to hit, it kind of looks like a teepee / notebook thing. I'm going to hit that button up at the top there, and then these are the different tags that I have. These are the different tags that I have added. So you can, let's say we want to make it the vacant boarded. We can click on that, and it'll tag it as vacant boarded. I'm not going to tag it just because I don't want to get it messed up in my list, because those properties get marketed to super heavily because they're the highest chances of selling for speed and convenience. It's why we do this. So then when you go to export your list out of Deal Machine, you're going to have a column that says tags or specialty tags, and it's going to say the tag that you named it. Let's say that you click on that, you can create a new tag. So you could call it whatever you want, new tag, and then you just hit add. So you can add as many different tags as you want for different reasons, but that is my suggestion to you, is to make sure you tag it. That's how you tag it. Pretty simple. There's lots of little buttons. You can play with it. Make sure you use the discount code PIN, P-I-N, when you get the Deal Machine app, so you can get a free trial, right? Use it for free, learn it, make sure it's a tech and a piece of equipment that you want to use. It's essential to my Driving for Dollars business. Hope it helps you guys. Make sure you use a strategy, because it's going to put a lot of money in your pocket. So to sum it all up, you're going to definitely need the Deal Machine app to take advantage of this strategy. Once you have that Deal Machine app, remember you can use my discount code PIN, P-I-N, to get a free trial if you've never used it before. Many of you probably already have this app or one similar, but the Deal Machine app is the only one that I know of that has the efficiency to do this, to use this strategy. But make sure once you identify the house that's worth putting a little bit extra effort in than just a general little bit of deferred maintenance properties to, hey, this one definitely looks like it could be vacant, right? You're going to, once you add that property using the tap to add version like we showed you, you're going to tag that property. So when you export your list, you'll be able to see your special tags and export that subsection of your Driving for Dollars list. So you can spend more effort cold calling, right? So on the 40-day challenge, what I did is I focused my efforts first on the worst of the worst properties. So when I would start cold calling for a new session, I had 2-3 different cold calling sessions per day. I would start and call through the worst of the worst properties first before I went to the other stuff. And then you can also subsection off that entire list, right? Because you're also going to have absentee, owner occupied, corporate owned. So I focused all my efforts on the tagged properties. Then I went to the absentee owner subsection of the list. Then I went to the owner occupied, and I didn't even call the corporate owned, because the accuracy of the phone numbers was so low, right? So that's a little tip, an extra bonus for you. Hope you guys got a ton of value. If you have any interest in allowing me to serve you and coaching you on how to set this stuff up properly, right? To teach you the systems, the steps, exactly how we're doing it, seeing my exact financials, and speeding up this process for you guys to turn Driving for Dollars into the most profitable strategy you have in your business right now. I'd love to help you. If you need help with the whole process of how to wholesale and need full coaching, I'm there for you. You will have my personal cell phone. I will be coaching you directly. So if you have any questions on how that works and how that's set up, it's really easy. There'll be a link in the show notes. You guys can book a call. Everyone, thanks for joining us. And I'm going to put a link right here. You guys can check out that 40-day challenge and actually watch it in action for free and see exactly what I did and how I did it, what those conversations look like and everything else, the criteria, what I looked for. It's all explained in there. Enjoy.